Hey, hey, hey! How are we all doing? Great to see you all that have arrived. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the stream. Great to have you all here. Do make sure you drop a big like on the stream as we get going. And, of course, make sure you are subscribed if you are new here. I assume most of you probably aren't, but you never know. We may have a few new people hop in. Make sure you are subscribed. Yeah, let's hop over and we'll have a look at the market. Obviously, lots to dig into following the events of it was last night and then into earlier this morning, wasn't it? Dave, how we doing, Steve-O? Yes, mate, it's Friday. I need a beer and I need tequila and a good jalfrezi. Oh, yes. That sounds like the stuff, mate. I feel, yeah. Especially with how hot it is, a nice cold beer would wash down absolutely perfectly, wouldn't it? Farouk Investment says, what's up, mate? What's up? Not Bitcoin. That's what's up. not Bitcoin. How we doing, mate? Great to see you. I don't think I've seen you before. Please do make sure you drop a like and subscribe, and that goes for anyone else. Let me know in the chat as well. What have you guys been trading? Did you catch any of the drop? Did you catch the reversal so far? What have you been up to? Obviously, it came in at a very strange time, didn't it, for anyone in Europe? Obviously, middle of the night. But we are pushing on back up. Stonksy went red around 107,300-ish. So that was a very nice drop caught by there. And we want to see, obviously, this red background potentially end if we're going to push back up. But yes, we'll take a look. Obviously, lots to cover across Bitcoin, altcoins, stocks leading into US Open, all that jazz. So make sure you get your comments in if you want me to look at anything specific, or if you've got any theories, or what have you been trading. Let me know in the chat. Also, can someone in the chat just confirm my connection is fine? Like, are you watching me okay? I've got a little button saying that the connection might not be great. For some reason, that doesn't normally pop up. So if you can just let me know in the chat if I'm coming through on your end clear and okay, let me know. Wiz, how we doing, mate? Great to see you, my man, Wiz. How are we, mate? It's all good in the hood? Is all good in the hood? I hear you and see you. Oh, well, you know what, Steve? As long as you can hear and see me, mate, that's all that matters, innit? That's all that matters is my good friend Steve-O is on the receiving end. Great to know. Oh, it should be all right then. Maybe it's... I don't know why it's showing it, but yeah. Wiz, welcome to the stream. And anyone else that's watching, please do make sure you head over and drop a like. Let's see what we're on. We're on 6 likes, so not bad, but not great. Please do take a second to scroll down and drop a like for those 14 people that haven't liked. And of course, we will be cracking on now. So, I mean, obviously, the place to start is Bitcoin. We dropped down back that close towards, obviously, this zone of interest that we had panned out from when we was watching for a Bitcoin drop that we eventually got. But yeah, so we came down roughly into that zone, pretty much nearly pinged off it, depending on where you draw it. And then obviously we've been recovering since. So are we going to do a similar thing? Obviously, the last time we had such an aggressive drop down was this, wasn't it? Obviously, very similar to what we've had here. Now, the recovery is obviously what we normally associate with when we get big aggressive drops down. You normally see the price kind of walking back up. Now, what will be interesting to see is if we get something very similar to this, as in price just carries on walking up slowly. But then even when it approaches the origin of the sell-off, obviously price just then carried on. So are we maybe seeing something here again where we're going to just slowly grind up? Obviously, this is key SR. So this will be a point of either falling off, or if we do gain above that, then that suggests, yeah, maybe we'll go again back up towards the local highs. But, you know, typically we could be looking up towards about 106,500 before we encounter SR. So will we see that, or maybe when stocks open, we get a sell-off as fear spikes? I don't know, because the S&P obviously did the same, sold off aggressively in futures, and has now just been kind of grinding back up, being bought up. So there is definitely reason there to suggest maybe Bitcoin does the same. But that's what we got on there. Now, ETH is obviously very interesting because ETH had some superb strength. You know, we finally got the push above the range we looked like we was going for glory, didn't we? We looked like we were going for glory. We came into that zone that we marked out. Now, that would have obviously been a perfect point to short in hindsight, but not so much in hindsight. You know, when we've been looking at it, we knew that this would be a zone for taking liquidity and potential resistance. So we had that, obviously, pull into here, right in the middle of the zone we were looking at, sold off. Now, notice, obviously, price was trying to hold this zone, this key, what obviously was resistance. It was trying to hold it as support after retesting it here, but it was unable to do so, and we fell back through. So now we have retested the range low yet again, and now where is ETH? We're just back inside, aren't we? We are between here and here. So we're back trading within the range. Now, obviously, we've gone and liquidated the upside. The question is, do we liquidate the downside on it? We will probably require Bitcoin to heavily drop down again, but we could liquidate the downside. I mean, you can see just from the naked eye, we've got 1, 2, 3 areas to potentially liquidate. Here, here, and here. So I definitely wouldn't rule it out, that's for sure. Especially going into this weekend. You know, anything could happen this weekend, couldn't it? But yeah, let me know what you guys think. Let me know what your thoughts on the market now. Do you think maybe we are going to see a complete flush out to the downside? Do you think maybe we're going to climb back up? Let me know what you're thinking. But yeah, that's what we're looking at on ETH. And it wasn't just the 1 hour that caught it. Obviously, you can see Stonksy went into the red here. It was the 5 minute that done a superb job yet again there of catching the downside. So yeah, that's where we're up to on ETH. Desperados, how we doing, mate? Great to see you. It's been a long time, I think, hasn't it? Mate, that's a great name to see. How are you? I think it's been a long time. Correct me if I'm wrong. Right, well, shall we crack on? Doing great, thanks. Yeah, it's been a while. I thought so, mate. How is life? How's life treating you? Let me know in the chat. Hope all is well anyway. But yeah, you said you're doing great, which is good. But yeah, welcome back. Welcome back. Where have you been? Or if you've just been busy and stuff like that, well, thank you for coming back, mate. It's great to see your name. Obviously, one of the OG viewers, really, aren't you? So that's Bitcoin and ETH anyway that we've looked at. ETH back inside the range. Not great, but not bad, as long as it obviously doesn't break the downside. For Bitcoin, yeah, a bit interesting. It's in a bit of an interesting spot. I mean, XRPs, everything's been pretty much slammed on it. I mean, look at that. 2 separate indications there. Wang at 1, 2 by Stonksy on the 5 minute. Double confirmation as well for you people that know what I'm talking about. Bang, bang. There we go. Thank you very much. Run to the bank with that. So yeah, XRP actually pretty close to that range. Oh, that range low again, isn't it? Pretty close to that range low, down around $2. So we'll see if that happens with that. Sol came back into here. So this zone that we outlined a few weeks ago, where Sol came down and pinged it there and then went back up. We got another ping earlier today. Now, obviously, the risk for Sol is breaking down below this $140 region, I think it would logically take it down towards low 120s. Otherwise, obviously we have upsides to potentially look at, depending on where you want to draw this. Yeah, depending on where you want to obviously draw resistance there for it. Stonksy's got it drew up here, which looks good to me now anyway. Yeah, so again, pretty easy on sol. We're still short on the 1 hour. Did we get anything on the 5? We didn't on the 5. Did we get anything on the 6? Any of these double confirmations? We got the red background. We didn't actually get the bear arrow actually came in earlier than the background, didn't it? So that's interesting to see. Obviously a lot higher as well. But yeah, still down from 157-ish there. But yeah, still red on the background, which could change. But as it stands, really nice drop caught there by Stonksy after catching the push up. Now, yeah, pretty simple from here. We break down. We go down towards 120s. From here, we could easily break back up. I would keep an eye on this area here on the 1 hour. If we was to come back up, that's obviously where supply came in. Otherwise, we've got resistance up here. So, yeah, that's what I'd be looking at on sol. Pretty straightforward. We'll wait to see what Stonksy indicates on it as well. But as you can see, I mean, pretty much altcoins getting slammed again. You know, a lot of these had big pumps, didn't they, earlier in the week? And now, I mean, look at Link, for example. Look at Link. Had a big old pump earlier this week. And not only has it retraced it all, it's gone even lower. It's gone even lower. Let's take a look at some of these. Obviously, again, caught by Stonksy there. You'll see the massive, massive performance on Stonksy on this move, and obviously the push up that we got. But yeah, Sui there, another one, bang, red background around 331, down nearly 10%. Yes, please, we'll take that all day long. XLM, another one, obviously, depending on what type of trader you are, or depending on how much of a veteran Stonksy user you are, you will have probably been taking notice of the 5-minute and 6-minute charts as well. But what I do want to cover on some of these, it's just obviously looking at the bands as well, the channels. You know, you can see what we talk about most is when price exits the exits the inner channel into the outer channel. And you look at all these, you know, AVAX, we've had it again here. Link had it again here. You probably go through anything. And price dropped into the outer channel and bounced back up, as we so regularly look at on the stream. OM is crashing down, isn't it? Absolutely crashing down. That is insane. Uniswap, one of the big ones, obviously that got a mega pump earlier in the week. Not fully retraced its pump just yet, but has done a lot of it anyway. That looks like a 50% retrace of this pump. So down by half of its weekly gains. What other? There was Aave, wasn't it? Aave was another one that got a big pump. Similar structure to Uniswap. Remaining strong on the relief pump on Bitcoin. So you can still see the strength in both of these coins in the market. Tau has been one of the stronger ones of recent, but again, big pump up and then drop back down into this key SR area that we have here. We got Jupiter. Jupiter looks like it's in quite an interesting spot. Yeah. Oh. Yeah. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, would have wanted it ideally to hold here. I mean, now it has liquidated this low. You would want to see Jupiter hold that low there on the daily to put in a swing failure pattern, and that's pretty much what it's doing at the moment. After that, I mean, where do you go from there on? Do you maybe start looking towards, obviously, lower down, like mid 30 cents ish? Let's head back to the 1 hour on some of these to catch the great moves that Stonksy has caught. And as you can see, yet again, really take notice of the channels, people. Make sure you take note of the channels if you haven't learned a lot on the channels yet. I have filmed a full video this week on the channel. For the channel, it will be being edited over the weekend and stuff, so it will be up next week. But I mean, literally, just take notice of when price comes into the extremity of the channel, i.e. the outer, upper, or lower section. ARB, another one that's shown massive strength this week and has just completely nuked after it. Obviously, one of the biggest gainers on the back of the ETH pump, and then bang, just see you later. Another one of them was OP. A tier. Wow. Wow. I mean, that is pretty scary stuff on tier, isn't it? I assume that there must be a chart. There must be a chart of the hell, it's all the way up at $20. There must be a chart that's got some price action on this to the left now, not on the Binance chart. But I mean, look at this red background on Stonksy on the daily. Not so good. Not so good of an outlook. But again, who cares? Stonksy has caught it again. Radium down 3%. OP was another one that was riding strength on the back of the ETH pump earlier this week. Really nice push up, and then again it's gone even lower than where the pump came in. Another one of the channels there. ENA was the same. Bang, pump up. Oh, see you later. I'm interested to see Compound. But look at some of these guys. Look at some of these. You know, a lot of down, like a handful of percent. You got LDO, same thing. Was pumping up with the ETH trade. But I mean, look at this. S back down at 32 cents. That must be back down to near the lows, I think. Pi down 9%. Kato really collapsing now. Obviously, this one was up at 230, so that's down massively in the past week or two. Compound, again, kind of similar to Uniswap and Aave, isn't it? Where you see, obviously, ARB and OP and a few others. It's not quite, obviously, dropped down to where it started pumping up. Still got a bit of way to go. So it hasn't completely retraced the pump, but has retraced a lot of it. But yeah, I mean, it's a bloodbath, isn't it, when you go and look. How's my Weeble doing? 10.56. Nah, you know what? Considering the drop on the stocks and stuff like that, not bad. 10.51 now. I'll take that. Afternoon, Kaz. How we doing? Great to see you in the chat again, Kaz. Discipline. Yes, mate. How we doing? Desperado says, what do you think the market will do at open? Are we going to lose more? What do you expect Bitcoin to do? It's a difficult one from here. And I'll tell you why, Desperados, is because when you have these news events that cause liquidation cascades, that catalyze moves to the downside or upside, there can either be a event to just clear out liquidity and then let price go back the other way. So as you can see here, I can't remember what it was. What was it the other week that caused this? I think there was something. Was it the argument between Trump and Elon that caused this? I think it was, wasn't it? I can't remember. I think it was that. I think it was the argument between Trump and Elon, but I'm not exactly 100% sure. I'm pretty sure it was. And then as you can see, you know, the market literally just used that as an excuse to clear downside liquidity and then recovered and then obviously wanted to push higher. Now, the difficult thing with this is going to be an ongoing thing. So we've had obviously the news overnight of the attack or the bombings or whatever it is that's exactly happened. So that can either be, an excuse to clear liquidity, and then price is just going to not care and just carry on rallying, which we will need stock market strength for. Or this is perhaps the start of an onslaught of news drops and pretty bad global events where we could just see, price recover and then bang, and then price slowly recover and then bang, and just carry on going slam, 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 which would eventually obviously shift the trend in Bitcoin. Now, if you're asking me what my personal opinion is, I think with the buy-in that we've seen and with the buy-in on stocks, I think we could unravel back to the downside. It is my personal opinion. But this market is very strong. This market is very strong, so I wouldn't be surprised to see it just carry on going back up. Now, what I would say is that this is definitely a time period to be managing your risk. So any trades that you enter, or whatever whatever it is you may be doing, make sure you've got your risk managed and you have places of invalidation, because we can get anything come out. Now, we could get obviously news of retaliation from Iran if they haven't already. I've not really kept up with it so far today. We could have other countries getting involved. You could have the US say something, China say something, Russia say something, which could literally just swing the market in whatever way. So what I would say is if you are stepping into the market, just make sure you've got your stop losses in place, because, you could come back to your trade an hour without looking at it, and, we could have had a big old candle one way or another. So, yeah, just be careful. Discipline, yeah, that's it. All right, I thought it was. Thank you, Discipline. Yeah, I think, we could be in for a bit of a wild weekend here. So, if you are trading, like I said, just make sure you've got your stop losses in place, or, make sure you got your alerts and stuff on. Or if you're not in a trade, let me know what you're doing. Let me know what you're doing. Are you waiting for a certain level? Are you going to go and touch some grass? Coding Crypto Fitness. Yes, mate. How we doing? Great to see you. Says Iran said they will retaliate today, likely during night/early morning. Yeah. So, the picture looks set, doesn't it, for another big candle at some point. Dr. Davey, how we doing, Dr. Davey? I don't think I've seen you before, mate. Make sure you do drop a big like and make sure you subscribe. Davey boy, possible 88k. Yeah, possible for sure. We'll take a look at the higher time frame chart now. And Discipline says he's waiting for the 4-hour fair value gap around 106,800 to enter short. Yeah, I mean, that would be as well. We would come in with that to retest the SR as well. So this is obviously key SR for the price. So that would come in for pretty much obviously like a rejection, wouldn't it? And then that should then, obviously we reject from there. Then that should just organically lead to a drop back down as well. Oops. Let's go and have a look at the high time frame chart anyway. Let's zoom to the 4-hour. So we've got obviously places of attraction for the price. Now, obviously, we have this big old gap of inefficiency here, don't we? Big old, just thin, fast move. So, this is something to bear in mind, because I think if we do drop down, I think kind of like the 93 to 94k region looks sensible to me. I mean, that it's obviously clear SR that was made on the way up. We had resistance on the price here, dropped down, we flipped it to support all along here, retested many times, never closed back below. So to me, this kind of, it's about 94k-ish, maybe just below, yeah. That looks reasonable to me, should we close here. Now, obviously, you could look at it, and you could always say, well, you know, there's an argument for probably bouncing there around 97. We'd close this inefficiency here, and then we could bounce. We could well do, yeah. But if we're retracing the move, I think it would probably make sense to come into a more solid place of SR, in my opinion. So that's what I'll be looking for. And then obviously you mentioned 88k, which is most definitely a possibility, Dr. Davey. Yeah, I mean, that was the clear pivot point, wasn't it? You know, if we look across, after we had, you know, the whipsaw movement here, once price actually settled, then we built a rally. This is where we got rejection, sell off. We then rejected again. And then on the way up, we obviously stalled, rejected initially, and then bang, price went through. And then you can see again here, you know, we've got a big old piece of inefficiency to fill in from on the way up. So I think, yeah, you know, two areas definitely for the downside to be looking at, just in preparation. You know, this 94k region or just below, and then obviously 88k. Should price make a clean break below kind of 102, should in theory solidify a continuation down. I'm just spot buying all the way down. This will eventually blow over. Likely just Bitcoin and high caps. Yeah, I mean, that's sensible. That's sensible. I mean, there is a terrible saying in TradFi, isn't there? There's a terrible saying in TradFi about wars for obviously the selling and buying of stocks. And obviously it's not a very nice saying, but it is a saying. And, you know, typically when you look at it, and the same happened with Israel and Palestine and, you know, Russia, Ukraine. Basically, you know, we'll get an initial shock from the start of a war and that. Now, the problem is with this is that obviously the threat of nuclear, but also the threat of other nations now joining in, is what remains. I think is what makes this a bit different to the two ongoing ones. You know, I think it's pretty clear that no one wants to get involved in Russia, Ukraine. No one really wants to get involved in the Israel and Palestine conflict. Now, do people want to get involved with Iran? I think North Korea's come out and shown the support to Iran, haven't they? Obviously a big nuclear scary nation. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm no expert on this. I think sometimes it's just maybe best to focus on the chart, and that you don't need to, the thing is, you don't need to feel like you're an expert on a war trade or what markets do during war. You don't need to be an expert at all. You just have your levels marked out. Have your Stonksy on to show you what is going on, when and where. And Yeah, literally just rock with that. I mean, you really should be, for those of you that have got Stonksy, make sure you are utilizing the channels because they are fantastic. They really are a fantastic piece of work. I think it will stay a limited conflict. People will bark and nukes won't get used. Hopefully not, mate. Yeah, hopefully not. I would prefer to carry on doing these streams and not get nuked. Yeah. I don't think I would enjoy that. Yeah, there we go. Let me know what you'd like me to look at anyway. Obviously, we've looked at the high time frame Bitcoin. We looked at altcoins. I think we'll look at the Mag 7, some stocks, and then maybe see what else is going on, if that sounds good to everyone. Discipline says, yeah, war is not a good thing. Bitcoin about to go nuclear. Hopefully not. I mean, if it goes nuclear for me, I'd be worried about which way it was going. Smash likes. Yes, Cryptogenic says smash likes. Do make sure you drop a like. Let's go and have a look at the like count. 15 likes, 30 viewers. Not bad, not bad. If you haven't liked, make sure you do scroll down, drop a like. We are picking up viewers now. We have covered Bitcoin, ETH, altcoins. We're going to go and cover some stocks now. And then we'll make our way back around before US Open and see what we get. Oh, mate. The rolls. I suppose it depends on what way you're looking at it. Are you looking at maybe the fall off? Because I've seen it was down, but my God, the rally on that thing is insane. My God, the rally on this thing is utterly, utterly insane. I mean, look at that. Like, what a call from Stonksy there. It's 10x up. You know, it's higher returns than Bitcoin over the same time period as well. Obviously, that is just post FTX, December 2022, before Bitcoin began its trajectory. Rolls-Royce has done a higher return than Bitcoin. Led by Stonksy. Insane. Utterly insane. Yeah, I wonder where this chart ends. I mean, it's coming in for a pretty interesting looking weekly candle, isn't it? I think. I mean, I don't really know too much about it because I know that they signed a contract, didn't they, with the government to supply something. But, you know, you look at a chart like this and eventually it has to come back down, doesn't it? It has to rebalance. So, yeah, absolutely fascinating. But let's go and take a look at our glorious, magnificent 7. So, we have Nvidia down a couple points to 142. We've got Apple up slightly. We've got Meta down to 684. We've got Microsoft down to 474. Amazon down. So at the moment, everything is down apart from Apple. Tesla is back down to 314. And Google is down to 172. Yes, so the Mag 7 will be opening lower, bar Apple, which is opening a little bit higher. And the Mags ETF, which did climb back up. It's not hit back towards its highs just yet, but it has been climbing back up. Is down to just below 52. So yeah, there we have it on that. I can't believe war is still an option in 2025. You'd think humankind will learn. War will always happen because war is profitable, innit? It's just the sad reality. Like, you know, if there was no war, we wouldn't need spending on defense. You wouldn't have these companies that make guns, tanks, stuff like that. Unfortunately, it's a profitable business in it, which is horrific, really. Can say anyone watching to get a super good price with lots of upside that isn't a sketchy meme coin? I tell you what, I am watching Kaz, and it's obviously not financial advice, nothing is, but I am watching this Weeble stock now. Please don't go and buy this based on what I'm saying. This could end horrifically because the chart is horrific, but I'm just looking at it in terms of standard, you know, looking at a chart, and it could take a long time. So yeah, please don't go and buy this. But I am looking at it and thinking, oh, it looks pretty interesting. So we'll see. But yeah, apart from that, I mean, it's a bit of an interesting sticky place, isn't it? Greed has a powerful motivator. Well, if it isn't Mr. Delta, what are you doing here, you fiend? How you doing, mate? Can you look into Orca? Yeah, I can. I think I've got Orca on the watch list still. Yeah, here's Orca. Let's see. Stonksy has traded this beautifully. Absolutely beautifully. Now, what I would say on Orca, let's go to say something like the 4-hour chart. It is a whole lot of sideways, isn't it? I mean, from this point on, you really want this area to hold here, in my opinion, anyway. So if price comes into this region, this is where the origin of the second explosive rally came from. You know, you got bang. So that's what I'd be looking at for a potential halt in selling pressure. That's where I would, you know, if I was looking at Orca, that's where I'd want it to come from. Otherwise, even coming and testing this doesn't really make sense from that standpoint, because we fell obviously below pretty much everything. Then you may as well just come back and retest the actual origin of the whole move, which was there. And you can even make it a nice little box if you wanted to. So yeah, that's what I would say. You know, you want to see this region hold here, I think. And then if we fall below there, that's kind of where I'd next be saying, okay, like, you really need to start seeing some strength in the price now. What has silver been doing? Silver has obviously been on just an absolute tear, hasn't it? Since the start of the year, it is up 25%, which is not bad for obviously a precious metal. Obviously, nowhere. There's no gold, because I don't think it's. Is it even close to hitting all-time high? It's actually not far away. Steadily grinding up there, and it's coming to obviously key weekly resistance here. But we've got all-time high of silver there, just below 50. And then there's your complacency bounce there. It took a long time to distribute. So yeah, that's definitely something to keep an eye on for silver anyway. The silver and gold trade beautifully on Stonksy on the low time frames. Look at gold go. Oops. Really nice, especially on the 1 hour. Oh, it's so good on the 1 hour. Now that we're getting maybe back into a trend, look how good it traded gold on the 1 hour in the trend. So good. So now that we're potentially maybe, I mean, we'll only be out of consolidation above here, but if it starts trending again, really pay attention to gold on the 1 hour on Stonksy. Wonder where MicroStrategy is opening today. Not even opening that far down, is it? Only at 375. Greed is a powerful multi. Hey, John, had to step away right before you started to stream. Did we go up or down today? I mean, we've relief bounced, haven't we? My initial gut feeling on it all is that we will end the week and maybe go into next week lower than where we are now. Things can change, but that's just my initial gut feeling based on my gut. Look at that weekly candle. Yes, Nick, how we doing? Get your gib out and we can have a gander. I beg your pardon. I beg your pardon. We've had war since we were cavemen, just human nature. Yeah, that's it. Big move for silver. Was a big move for silver. Yeah. Yeah, very big move. I mean, really, the trade was to pivot from Bitcoin at the end of last year into silver, wasn't it? Or gold. I don't know what's gold done since the actual start of the year. Oh no, to be fair, yeah, into gold. What has gold done since the start of the year? It doesn't seem like gold was only down here at the start of the year, does it? It seemed like it was higher. To be fair, it's not actually that much of a lesser performance, is it, than silver? That much of a more improved performance than silver. Like, it's up an extra 5%, which is obviously better than 25%, but still not bad for silver. It's still pretty good. But yeah, if you want me to look at anything specific, let me know. Something called my island. Oh my god. That don't look good at all. Anyway, let me I'll get the poll up now. I've looked at Orca, mate. I've looked at it like literally 5 minutes ago. I did a full analysis on it then. Scroll back about 5 minutes. I did it for you, Applebow. Yeah, I've already done it. Yeah, I'm not gonna look at it again. I've done, just scroll back 5 minutes and then come back to the live point. Yeah, I did it about 5 minutes ago. Go and have a look. But what's everyone's thoughts then? Obviously, this is going to be so interesting, isn't it? I'm gonna watch this. Make sure as well, if you haven't already, make sure you drop a like. Make sure you are subscribed, and of course, if you're looking to trade anything, today, if you're looking to go in long, short, maybe buy some spot, whatever it is, make sure you are trading on BLOFIN. It is the best non-KYC exchange. And I'll drop the link into the chat now, and it is the first link in the description too. So make sure you get a load of that. And of course, if you want indications like this, if you are looking to better your trading, get a better read on the market, then there is no better option than Stonksy. We have 20% off Stonksy still with code BOT20. So come over to the website. That second link in the description, stonksy.io. For you people over on X, it is also in the bio. And you put BOT20 in the checkout box to take this down to £116 for your first month. And you do get access to everything: the oscillator, the indicator itself, the Discord server, and we run trading bots on BLOFIN. So make sure you take advantage of that. Yeah, do not miss out. Do not miss out. Yeah, I'm just grabbing a quick drink, everyone. And then we will look. We've got half an hour to go till US Open. So, I mean, the floor is literally open to look at anything, isn't it? Getting off to go work out. We'll leave the stream open on my PC. Oh, mate, legend. Well, have a good workout, and hopefully you have a nice weekend. Peace out, mate. Thank you for your input on stream again. Always appreciate it. But yeah, make sure. Dung Schlung, how you doing, mate? How was your poop, Stonksy? I've not been for a poop. I've just been getting a drink. I've not had a poop. How was your poop been? Have you been for a poop today? Have you been pooping? Anyone else been pooping? What's everyone doing on the weekend as well? Let me know in the chat what you're doing on the weekend. You got much planned? Much going on? Let me know. It'd be great to find out. I don't feel good about it, but I'm interested in Boeing. I bought a little yesterday. I tell you what else really hit the floor. For anyone interested in stocks, GameStop came right. We were looking at it, wasn't we? As it opened yesterday, and it opened like 20% down or whatever. We outlined this zone, didn't we? And this is what you would assume is demand for GameStop. And I believe it's kind of like, I don't think people are happy that they're buying Bitcoin, are they? Because I think it's in relation. I think the sell-off was due to because they announced that they were going to raise more money to buy GameStop. So it seems like GameStop holders don't like Bitcoin. I think, anyway. I don't know where they announced it, but I think they announced it somewhere. Let's see. I don't know if they have like a... I don't know if they have like a part for... That's a long website, isn't it? Did he have one for like... Hang on, I'll tell you what. We'll do something better. We will do something even better. Anyway, I think that's what it is. I think it was because they announced that they were going to raise more money to buy Bitcoin, I think. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely coming into what's looking like that demand zone, isn't it? Now, the kind of scary thing for it is that it does obviously have a pretty long way to go down if it starts to break below there. It's not something personally I don't think I'm going to entertain. But, you know, without doubt, you would say anywhere down towards like 1950 from here is demand, you know, according to going back to the chart this time last year. So, yeah, that was a big hit. Let's have a look at Boeing. Let's see. This it, yeah. Yeah. Opening a little lower, isn't it? Circle obviously took a plunge yesterday. I think I would be shocked if we didn't get the standard IPO drop on this. I don't know how low it would go. But you would imagine like it would at least maybe just dwindle down and slowly come into a point of accumulation somewhere and then look to go. Whether that's from there or, not drawn to the price scale or whatever, but I just can't see it just, launching, holding up and just never going down. Just doesn't make sense, does it? There's good old Core Weave. I think these were some whiz stock picks, weren't they? So yeah. But thank you for that save. I'd rather buy UNH rather than Bowen. Hey, Jeff, the legend. How we doing, Jeff? Yeah, make sure you do listen to Jeff and smash the likes. How are we, mate? I did buy some GME too. I don't understand the sell-off, to be honest. I would stay away from Bowen. High potential for it to go down and crash. I'm guessing that was a play on words, Jeff, maybe. Dung Schlung says GME is all Wall Street bets. Of course, they love Bitcoin. I don't think they do. Obviously, there is a portion of them that don't. Otherwise, we wouldn't have had the behavior on it, would we? I mean, look at. Obviously, I'm guessing the retail holders must love it. Yeah, retail holders mustn't be against Bitcoin, but there's obviously a portion of GameStop holders that don't like it because this point here was exactly where they announced that they bought Bitcoin and price just hit the floor. That's nearly a 20% retracement in it, and then obviously carried on down. And then I'm sure that it was announced that do you know what? Hang on. Let me go and have a look. Let me pull up a new tab. Right, put my screen back on. I'm sure it was let's see. Yeah. Here we go. Shares of GameStop plummeted on Thursday, so yesterday, the reason for the 20% sell-off after the company announced a plan to raise 1.75 billion in debt financing from investors. Obviously, I'm guessing to buy Bitcoin. Yeah, for Bitcoin purchase. So that was the reason for the sell-off yesterday. I thought it was. So there's obviously, I know there will be a portion of GameStop shareholders that like Bitcoin, but the evidence is there. It fell 14% initially and then ended up falling, down 18% just on the day that they announced they bought Bitcoin, and then obviously the days after. And then on the announcement that they was going to raise 1.75 billion, the stock finished 24% lower. Well, went 24% lower, ended 22.4% to the downside. So the evidence is that there are some GameStop share whales, or whatever you call them, whatever you want to call them, that don't like the idea of GameStop buying Bitcoin because the evidence, it's just there on the chart for us to see, innit? 18% sell-off after buying, and I think they only bought about 400-500 million at that point. And then a 24% sell-off after announcing they're going to raise money to buy more Bitcoin. So it seems that some portion of GameStop holders are being flushed out. Stonksy, do you hold spot or just trade perps? Yeah, both. Both, mate. Both. Although I have been de-risking. Any idea why Aero pumps? I don't know. I saw that. Was it yesterday or It was one day this week, weren't it? I haven't looked at it. Oh yeah, look at it. I have no idea, mate. I don't know. Obviously, it came in for a really good retest, didn't it? So obviously, this was the initial low. This was then the pump into supply here. Retracement came into obviously key area to retrace to, and then went again. But as for as for the actual reason for the pump, I have no idea. I assume this will distribute back down though, with the rest of the market should it carry on downwards. But Stonksy caught it. Stonksy caught it there, in from 51 cents. Bang, there we go. So if you wasn't on it, then Stonksy was showing it. Yeah, really great call. I mean, for those of you that don't have Stonksy, it is a game changer for sure to your trading. Let me know, for those of you either on YouTube or X as well, if you aren't a Stonksy user or you've never tried Stonksy, let me know if you've got any questions about it. I can answer or show you anything live. So get your questions in if you want anything answering about Stonksy itself. It'd be great to welcome some of you over that haven't tried it yet. Yeah, we've got 20 minutes until US Open. I'm just getting a little bit of a drink and having a breather. And then we will continue on with our stream. But yeah, I'm not too sure, Jeff, to be honest. I don't know. Maybe, I don't know whether there was some news around it, considering base or whatever. I don't know. What should we take a look at, though? Let's see. I'll tell you what we will look at next. We'll go and look at the liquidation heat map. Let's see what's going on. Right. Let's go. Have a little look at what we are getting on this heat map. Okay. Let's see. So let's have that. So 24-hour, we are getting a cluster above the high of the relief bounce. No surprise there. 3-day, we've got a big old, I mean, look at that. Yeah, above them highs. Obviously, we put in kind of like a 3-peak, didn't we? Or like a triple top kind of thing, I think, on Bitcoin. On the 1 hour, anyway. Yeah, like a 1, 2, 3, bang. So yeah, big liquidity obviously residing above there, as you'd expect. The 2-week, not really much to the downside, is there? I mean, the 2 weeks, not sure we've showing much. We've obviously ran through a bunch of this downside liquidity here, haven't we, on the way down? Bang, 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 bang. No exact hotspot on it, but obviously below that low of June is, as you'd expect, big liquidity, and then above this little triple top here, 1, 2, 3, nice amount of liquidity. So yeah, I mean, nothing really to write home upon at the moment in terms of liquidity. It doesn't really look like, I mean, unless price does something like this, just to clear out obviously low time frame liquidity there's nothing really to look at to go, oh yeah, this looks like a definite. Yeah, I mean, it's giving. I tell you what, I don't know about anyone else, but is this giving like kind of the dead cat bounce vibes for anyone? Like the response is nowhere near as strong as this, is it? Like, look at the two comparisons. Obviously, these two dips can be compared to each other quite strongly because of the nature of them. Like very similar structures, but you saw this. Like, this was just relentless, wasn't it? Just constant buying pressure coming in, no real selling. Here we've kind of had like a real struggle, haven't we? Of like, and then the market's found like a real sticking point here. Like, I don't know whether it's just giving like kind of dead cat bounce vibes for like another rollover. That's like kind of my gut feeling on it. Anyone else? It just doesn't look convincing, does it, compared to this? Like, this was a very strong reaction. And, you know, this was like bid turned on, like constant bid in the market. Here, it kind of just seems like this has been like, okay, let's squeeze some late shorts, push the price back up as you'd expect, and then maybe roll over again. Anyone else feeling the same, or? Well, I suppose we can have a look, can't we? Let's see what you guys are saying. So it's a pretty split poll at the moment. We've got 15 votes, 47% people think we're going up, 53% we're going down. Dung Schlung says, yeah, this was a weak bounce. It does, yeah. Dung Schlung, I would definitely agree with you. It doesn't look convincing to me. Like, I would not be convinced of, at this point anyway, to say, oh yeah, it looks like we're going to get like an instant V reversal again, as we got here. It just doesn't give that vibe, does it? And I think maybe part of that is the reason of that. It's like widely known that at some point across maybe like the next 12 hours, we're going to get an retaliation by Iran. So then that's going to be bang, you know, hits the news and hits the markets. So maybe there's like a bit of hesitation there by, you know, market participants to actually buy this in case, you know, we get another bit of just, you know, sudden news and prices goes bang. So maybe that's one potential reason. It seems the traders are waiting. Yeah, I think so. But you got to remember as well, it's going into a weekend too, isn't it? It's going into a weekend. Like, this was pretty much, obviously this was going into a weekend as well. But it was kind of like it, you know, was over, weren't it? You know, we had obviously the public spat between Trump and Elon, and that was kind of it. There was no kind of like fear of an aftermath or anything, was there? You know, it's not like the two are just going to suddenly start throwing punches at each other. Where here, you know, we could get bang, you know, like Iran retaliation at any time, and then over the weekend we could get anything. Like, there's definitely uncertainty in the market. I mean, and what's that saying on SPX? Well, SPX again, you know, is this found maybe a point of sticking point? If we look at the daily, so this is a zone I've, you know, banged on about for a lot on SPX. Now on the daily, you can see here, this was obviously a key point for buyers. Obviously, we dipped down lower on the wicks, but you know, look at the daily closes and the daily opens. We obviously dipped into here or below, but we never obviously closed below. And then obviously on the way down, we was wicking into here and rejecting, you know, wick. So this is definitely a key zone, alongside obviously being a big juicy round number of $6,000. Now we obviously eventually came up into here after rejection. We eventually squeezed into here and we did overcome it. And as you can see, the last 2 days, or 3 days, we closed above and came in for retest. So retest, held. Now today we're back below. So I think today's daily close could be quite key, because if that closes back below Yeah, I don't really like the look of it so much, especially because I mean, just look at it. You've got points all on the chart. I mean, in terms of something like the S&P, you've got just all this waiting to be taken out, haven't we? That's just all waiting to be took out. So we'll see. Oops. Bitcoin might go down again and do a double bottom, or just go to zero, of course. I think if we're gonna go down again, to me, it would make sense to start exploring lower. I mean, obviously we do have support here. We have support, but I mean, it's like the upside, isn't it? You can only bang on the upside so much before you get a retrace. So you can only bang so much to the downside before we start exploring what's below it. And obviously we've got this all waiting to be filled in. And I think the prime optimal retest is around 94k. And then obviously below that, we got 88k. We could do. We could do for sure. I mean, I know, coming back into 102, maybe explore just below, like we did here, would make sense. But for me, I mean, I don't know whether it's coiling up for a real bloodbath or not. What's everyone's levels to the downside if you're looking down? Obviously, upside is pretty easy, isn't it? Upside, we kind of just basically need to clear up to 107 and reclaim 107. And then, it's back on track then for higher. Pretty easy. Just reclaim that zone of SR that you can see to the upside here. Reclaim here. And then it's back on track to start pushing all the way up to 1010, maybe 111, maybe even the whole time high again. So the upside is pretty easy. It's pretty much like we've got one level and then we can start looking definitely higher. Is there CME in 90 still? There is, mate. Yeah, there is. That's another good point. Daddy Bear is starting to show up. Do you think so, Apong? Yeah. You think so? I'm surprised we never retested the low 80s. Don't want that to happen, to be honest. I mean, I think if you go back all the way down there, you kind of find it hard to see what is going to be the driving force to go back up again, don't you? But Ben, yes, there is. So we obviously closed this one today. Let me get rid of that. There is a CME gap between 92,525 and 91,415. So there is still that CME gap as well, Ben, yeah. Which again, maybe an attraction for the price. Like this one. I think a lot of people probably thought, obviously when we had this gap here, I think a lot of people, when we was up at 110, there was probably a lot of people thinking, oh, we're not going to close that gap. We're just going to go to new all-time highs. And bang, we're suddenly down here. And it can happen just that quickly, can't it? Bang, come some point over the weekend, if things turn sour, we could find ourselves mid-90s and then ever closer to the CME gap. So that is definitely something to keep an eye on as well. I'm going to go mark that out on this chart as well. Like 92.5 there. Let's label this. Yeah, there we go. So we got that outlined as well. But I mean, this is technically support until we break it, so I think playing the weekend CME gap is the most predictable, like, lately. Yeah. Seems that way, doesn't it? I mean, they are definitely, still closing eventually, aren't they? Do make sure you drop a big like on the stream. Make sure you are subscribed. We've got 22 likes, 29 views. That is great. If you haven't already, please do scroll down and drop a like. And of course, if you're looking to trade anywhere today, if you're looking to long, short, buy some spot, have some funds ready to deploy into the market, then do make sure you sign up your non-KYC. Non-KYC, so sign up with just an email on BLOFIN. Links in the chat. First link in the description as well. Yeah, we've got 7 minutes to go until US Open. So what I think we'll do for this is we will get Bitcoin side by side with the S&P. And yeah, seems to be the best way to play today, doesn't it? We'll have both. Reggie, man, how we doing? Yes, Reggie. Great to see you, mate. We have consumer sentiment, 30 minutes. Yeah, we do. It's the Michigan index in it. But yeah, we've got market open in 6 minutes, so it should be a good one. And we've gone dual screen today. We've got Akimbo, the you OG COD players. Anyone who's an OG COD player will know, the Akimbo. Well, but let me know, what's everyone doing on the weekend? What have you got planned for tonight? What have you got planned for over the weekend? Let me know in the chat. Oh, yes. Here we go. The guy's shown up. Yes, Crypto Bro. How we doing, mate? Yeah, let me know what everyone's doing over the weekend. Jeff remembers Akimbo, yeah. There was one COD when there was a pair of Akimbo pistols, and I can't remember what pistol it was, but they were so OP. Ben Hughes said, Dunk Schlung says the twerking. You're twerking all weekend. You're going to have a sore ass. Ben Hughes says, dump. Ah, okay. And Jeff, Crypto Bro says massive dumping coming as well. And Jeff says, I'm taking my girl out to eat. Then we are going to be drinking and seeing who's better at mini golf when drunk. Oh, mate, what a weekend. What a weekend. That's what it's all about. I tell you what, Jeff, you live in the American dream, mate, aren't you? You are literally living the American dream. Love that. What a weekend. Enjoy, mate. Enjoy. What am I doing this weekend? So, I think... Thank you for asking as well, Dung Schlung. I think maybe tonight I might have a few beers tonight. I might. Nothing serious. Maybe just a couple of bottles. And then over the weekend, not really much. So on Sunday, it's Father's Day. And then this coming week, I'm actually off on the Monday. So there won't be any stream on Monday. Sorry to tell everyone. I know that everyone instantly start crying over that. But yeah, on Monday I'll be going out on a little family day. And then yeah, over the week, I don't really tend to do much with my weekends, to be honest. Just more like family time and chill, or any odd bits that need doing. And but tell you what, next weekend, next Saturday, so a week tomorrow, I am out on a big day out. Big drinking session going down next Saturday. So I look forward to that. That's going to be fun. It's been a good while since I've been out on the ale. So yeah, that should be fun. Looking forward to that already. What about you, Dungslung? You can't just be twerking all weekend, surely. Debut mastering, how we doing? Afternoon. Good afternoon to you, legend. Thank you for joining the stream. I just had a massive pre-market open dump myself. Well, hold on to the toilet, mate. Hold on to your toilet. We're coming in hot in 2 minutes. And Kaz says, did you have your Stonksy meetup in Oop North? Not yet. No, we haven't. Save with Crypto was meant to be in charge of that, I think. I think he kind of took the responsibility of that and just hasn't done anything with it. I'm going to eat 64 hard-boiled eggs with no water. Legendary. Oh, what a legend. Mate, you are a legend. Tell me you're using some Tommy K for that, though. You must be using some tomato sauce. Surely you're not just going to raw dog it like that. Just no sauce, no drink, nothing. Tell me you're using some sauce. You're not raw dogging 64 eggs. But we've got some good viewership, so make sure you have dropped a like. Make sure you are subscribed. And make sure, if you are over on X as well, you are following the Stonksy X account. And make sure you head over to the YouTube and drop a subscribe. We are making our way towards 2,500 subscribers, and you can help me get there that little bit faster. We've got 15 seconds to go. The S&P looks like it's pushing on. Well, it is pushing up into open. Bitcoin's remaining largely flat. It doesn't seem like it knows what it wants to do, does it? Anyway, and we are coming in. 3, 2, 1, go! There we go. The US market is open and the S&P is up. Bitcoin is down. So that is something to be said. Yeah, Bitcoin is up. The S&P is down. Let's see what's going on in the world of my Weeble. Oh, God damn it. God damn it, Weeble. Anyway, oh, the S&P is rocketing back towards $6,000. Bitcoin remaining flat. Is it going to play catch up, or have we got some ulterior thing coming during the first half an hour? There you go. Bitcoin's now seeing some upside. The S&P is shooting back up. Let's close out that poll as well. So 61% ended up going down on that poll. There we go. 23 votes, 60%. Yeah, Bitcoin's playing a bit of catch up now, up towards 105k. Instant reaction into the chat, please, from everyone. Do you think that this is a trap? Do you think this is maybe like a trap where we're going to pump and then we're going to dump all afternoon? Is this a trap to let people start buying up this dip, thinking that it's just the usual dip comes, you buy, and then you just instantly make money again? Does anyone any thoughts on that, or do you think we're just gonna just buy this dip up and we're just gonna start going back up non-stop? I think this should be played. I think a bit of caution on this. I don't quite trust it. I'll be honest. I don't trust that we're just suddenly just gonna start heading all the way back up with an event like what we've had. Trap, it'll come back down. Trap down. Yeah, I think so. You guys are smart. Always happens. Pumping open, dump. Yeah. I mean, look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin's back down there now. 10-minute trap. It will just range, says Epong. Okay. Epong's going a bit against the grain there. We've got all our big bad bears in the chat, and then Epong standing tall. No, you tell you what, you're really sitting on the fence there, Epong, aren't you? Because you don't have to say up or down. Then you're just saying, "Oh, it's going to range." I want to know. I want to know what's burning inside. What's the the burning feeling inside you to tell you where this market's going. Don't sit on the fence. Never trust the first 15 minutes of market open. Yeah, wise words, crypto bro. And Ben Hughes says, I got told never trade the first 10 minutes of a market open. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, it's why whoever told you that is a wise person. Yeah. Typically, on a normal day, funds give like the first 15-20 minutes to let the flows come in from retail and like let the movement go. And then after, that 15-30 minute time frame, that's when funds will then start to come in and dictate the rest of the session. But we're now heading down on Bitcoin, and there we go. It was indeed a trap on Bitcoin. The S&P is yet to catch up a little bit. The S&P is still up there. But Bitcoin is well below, well, not well below, $100 or so below where it opened on US Open. But has retraced that. Yeah, it wasn't even a pump, was it? The S&P at least had this. Bitcoin had nothing. It had like a $200 pump. Well, yeah, fascinating stuff going on in the world, isn't it? Fascinating stuff. I am so itchy. Just for anyone who wants to know, I am itchy. Especially on my chin. Really itchy. Anyway, no, we've still got a bunch of you that said haven't told me what you're doing over the weekend. Come on, I want to be nosy. A sign of being skeptical. What's that? A sign of being skeptical. What do you mean? I'm skeptical of everything. I don't trust the way that this market moves at the moment. Just there's no inner trust. Let me see what my Weeble is doing. God damn it, Weeble, come on. God damn it. Why can Weeble, the company, not just pump a couple of $1 million into it, a couple of 100 million, whatever? Send this thing back towards bloody at least 15, 16, 17, $18 so I can sell it and make a nice profit. Come on, is that too much to ask? Right, we're getting some more upside on Bitcoin now. Seems like it. Look at the DXY. That absolutely tanked yesterday, didn't it? Down to 97. Wow. I mean, some of these are just Look at that. Magnificently traded Cato there, Stonksy, didn't it? Magnificently. Well, we've not got anything much, have we, in the first 7 minutes? We've not really got much in the first 7 minutes. What's TMG doing? I saw his tweet about the scary plane landing. I've no idea, to be honest. I'll be honest, Jeff. I don't know. Let's go take a look. Hang on. Scary plane landing. Where was it? When was this? I don't know when did he? Oh, this it. I just got off the scariest flight of my life, Air France flight AF1168. Thank God it landed. I have never had such a scary landing in my whole life. On a day another plane goes down. This was on everybody's mind on that plane, terrifying. Let's see what happened. God, yeah, look at it. It's going everywhere, isn't it? Look at it shaking. My God. I would get off that. I would run off that plane straight away. Tell you what, not gonna lie, I hate planes. I hate them. I hate the thought of flying. Don't like flying. Don't want to get on planes. I am made as a person to keep my feet firmly on soil. Keep my feet firmly on ground. I'm not made for planes. I don't like heights. I don't like the idea of being trapped in a little cardboard, in a little tin can where you've just got no control over whatever. I mean, at least if you're on a ship, if it sinks, you can either swim or get into a lifeboat. There is literally no savior in a plane going down, is there? Apart from if the pilot can do something. I don't like them at all. Really just don't like the idea of them. I definitely don't like being on them. Itchy. Oh, the itchiness is a sign of being skeptical. Maybe, yeah. Weather is looking nice in Manny. I'm going to take the kids to the park, mate. The weather's gorgeous, isn't it? The weather is gorgeous. All itchy here. So itchy. I'm going to wash this week as well. Over the weekend, I'm going to wash this because you want to know something disgusting? Since I started wearing this snood for on stream, so must be about, because I wore that scarf thing at first, didn't I? That red scarf thing. I wore that at first, and then I swapped over to this. So this must be at least about 6 months, maybe even 7. I've not washed it once. How dirty and disgusting is that? So all like the sweat and everything that is on this, I've never washed it. So it must just be full of bacteria. So I'm going to wash it over the weekend. If anyone wanted to know that. To be honest, surprised that Bitcoin dumps 100k when Elon and Trump fall out, but doesn't when political. Exactly. Yeah. Well, that's literally because the idea that Trump being in the White House is good for Bitcoin and crypto, innit? As you could say, all out for their own, and obviously the industry is out for its own. So anything that potentially has more meaning towards that, then that affects it more. I'm out at a friend's club night tonight. Oh, are you? Oh, okay. Debut mastering. Yeah, like a nightclub. Is it like a nightclub? What's up? Hey, how we doing, Nate? We're bouncing at the moment, mate, aren't we? Not very convincingly, I don't think, but we are bouncing. Well, yeah, great to see you. Yeah, that video. How did that work out for the people on the Titanic? Oh, mate, the Titanic was bloody over 100 years ago. Plus, There's a bit of sketchy stuff about the Titanic. There's a bit of sketchy stuff about the Titanic, isn't there? I think I try to stay away from like discussions about conspiracies and stuff like that, because I feel like it just gets you nowhere, because you either have an opinion on it or you don't, and then like there's no point arguing about it and stuff. But there's definitely some sketchy stuff about a Titanic sunk. I think the fact that JP Morgan was meant to be on the ship and then cancelled on like the day, and then it was just full of like basically all the rivals, and all like the rest of the high net worth people is a bit sketchy. And then the idea that they swapped it with the Olympia and sank the Olympia instead, just really strange. Like there's definitely something that didn't add up with that. I think for the period of time that it was in as well, it would have obviously been really easy to do something like that. Yeah, they do a monthly thing. Oh, nice, mate. Whereabouts is this nightclub then? Where, what area are you in? You don't obviously dox yourself, but is it like Manchester, Birmingham? I mean, I very much doubt everyone's going to go around to each and every nightclub in this area to come and find you, but just get a bit of an idea. JP Morgan job, I think. Yeah, the original Titanic was at seabed. At seabed, not the one that left the port. Windows, different sizes on one floor. Big insurance payout and elite rivalry, as you said. Yeah, see, there's a lot of things that don't add up with it, in for sure. There's a lot of things that don't add up with it. The fact that there was all these high net worth people, and obviously, financial rivalry, or it would have worked out better for some people if some people would have obviously sank on it. And the whole thing with the insurance payout and stuff, it just all seems a bit weird. Wasn't it like not long after that as well that JP Morgan had his big hand in founding the Federal Reserve too? Or was that after World War One? I can't remember. But definitely some sketchy stuff. And isn't it weird to go to even think about, that period in time, over 100 years ago, and you even had all that sketchy stuff going on then, and it's probably always happened in history, hasn't it? There's always probably been, obviously, people in power behind the scenes and stuff like that have dictated stuff. But it's just weird to think, like, even back then, with no phones, no nothing, no internet, no nothing, that still, people could orchestrate that type of thing. Exactly, was Fed Reserve. Jeff says JP Morgan was after it sank. No, what do you mean? Or do you mean the Fed? The Federal Reserve was set up after it sank? I don't know. It is interesting though, for sure. There was a big I'll tell you what, there was a big thing on the whole Titanic, and I don't know whether I ended up bookmarking it. Let me see if I did, because if I ended up bookmarking it, it was a really interesting read. I hope I did. Let me see. Oh, hang on. Let's see. Did I end up bookmarking it? I don't think I did. I'm just checking because it was a really interesting thread on it. The trouble is, I can't remember when it was. Can't have been all the way back there, surely. Let me check another one. Hang on. If I haven't, then I haven't. I'll try and find it if I haven't. But it'd be really, for anyone interested. No, I haven't. Oh, god damn it! I thought I did. Oh well. We are. I've been in restaurant trade a lot. of my youth, and the amount of times you'd hear failing restaurants suddenly on fire, they get big payouts too. Yeah, I mean, it makes sense, doesn't it? My parents owned restaurant from my birth until I was 21. Oh, right, okay, yeah. So what, did that restaurant end up having a fire? But oh yeah, interesting, Scottish. Thank you for your input. Definitely interesting. But did that restaurant end up going on fire as well? Make sure you have dropped a big like. Make sure you are subscribed. We've got 29 views, 24 likes. If you haven't liked, please do. And of course, if you haven't signed up to Stonksy yet, make sure you do. Take advantage of the 20% off. We're still running. You can get 20% off your first month with code BOT20. So hop over. Second link in the description. Or you can find it at stonksy.io or in the X bio for you people on X. And it is this plan that you want. Put code BOT20 in at checkout, and that gets you 20% off your first month. And you get access to the Discord server, the indicator, the oscillator, which is here, and the trading bots on BLOFIN too. And there is some more stuff coming as well in the near future, so keep an eye out for that. It did actually, but wasn't deliberate. Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. I trust you. John Brown says Titanic was doomed when the designer said God himself couldn't sink it. I know, yeah. What a crazy thing to say. I used to be obsessed with watching the Titanic. But I tell you what, there is no way it would have gone down in that sub that went down there. There's a documentary been released on that on Netflix, hasn't it, recently? About that Titan sub. I think I've seen it on Netflix this week. I don't know when it come out. I'm guessing recently. But there's documentaries come out on that Titan sub, hasn't it? That like imploded or whatever. And we had a successful restaurant, Harry Ramsden's. So we didn't claim for everything. My parents should have though, for old school, honest people. Fair enough. Fair enough. Can't believe anyone would go in that tiny sub. I know, yeah. Imagine being a billionaire or like a multi-millionaire and going, do you know what? I'm going to risk my life to go down in this bloody stupid little tin can just to go and see the Titanic up close. Weird, isn't it? Like, is it some sort of flex to say that you've seen the Titanic? Like in person. It's literally just a massive grave, isn't it? And it's probably not even the Titanic. It's probably the Olympia or whatever. I don't know. Some other ship. Anyway, yeah. So, yeah, I wouldn't see the flex in that. Oh, I've seen the Titanic in person. Have you? Great. No one cares. Definitely not worth putting your life at risk to get in that stupid tiny sub. That's in my opinion, anyway. Right, we are getting absorption now, so we are 20 minutes after market open, and we are starting to come back down on the S&P from open, and that is reflecting in Bitcoin. We are starting to come back down again. One of them took the young son to... I know, yeah. Yeah. What, mad, innit? It's mad. I wouldn't get anything like that, man. I'm too skeptical of everything. Like, I wouldn't even get in a small plane. You know, like them small planes where it fits like 5 people in or 10 people or something. I wouldn't get one of them. No way. No way. I wouldn't go paragliding. I wouldn't go anything. Do you know what does scare me? You know, when you go abroad and you have them boats that they pull people out, you go out to sea on the boat and you go up and you're attached to that like paragliding thing, and obviously the boat pulls it along and then that goes in the air and then you're in the air like holding on or strapped in, whatever. Nah. Imagine if that line snapped and then suddenly like this big paragliding thing is just like sweeping you up as like really high into the air. Can you imagine the feeling of that? No way would I do that. Has anyone ever been on one of them abroad? But I look at them and I'm thinking, why? Like, why? Like, why would you do that? Like, imagine if the wire snapped on that. That would literally take you so high and then probably like start folding in on itself and you just fall to your death. Hitting the sea from like that high, it'd be like hitting concrete. Harry Ramsden's pulled the other one. Crypto Bro seems to be in awe that you had a Harry Ramsden's restaurant, Scottish. The Creature of Jekyll Island is about the Federal Reserve and mentions the Titanic. Book I must read. There you go, from Steve there. For anyone interested, this book, he says, is definitely worth a read. The Creature from Jekyll Island. They glide okay without being on the line. Yeah, I know, but there'd be no control over it, would it? Like, if the line snapped, there'd be no control over it. Who says how long you could be up in it or where it would take you? Imagine if it just, like, was in the air and, like, the wind was just gusting it further and further out to sea, and you just ended up falling in. Or, you know, I don't know, or it went really high and then started folding in on itself mid-air and you just started plunging down. Paraglided off a mountain in Turkey once. Got to 2 kilometers in the air. It was horrendous. Yeah, see, just why? This is what I think with all of this. It's like, why do you need to do that? Like, do you really need to do that? Did you really need to do that, Crypto Bro? I suppose some people like that, though, don't they? Some people like the adrenaline, and we are getting full retrace now. So for those of you, that's them smart people that said it was a trap, it was indeed a trap, and we are going back down. Yeah, Harry Ramsden's was top notch. Miss it. Was my first ever job working dishes in kitchen. Absolutely stank. I used to work in kitchens as well. I was I tell you what, in a previous life before crypto and stuff like that, I was a manager of a small chain of restaurants, like independently owned, not an actual chain that you'll have heard of or anything. But yeah, I was a manager of a group of them, and yeah, I used to sometimes like prep in the kitchen and cook in the kitchen and stuff like that if I needed to. Yeah, it was interesting. It's a very, very unique place working in the kitchen. The paraglider would hit hot pockets of air and go up and down, and it felt like the turbo you get when you're on a plane or you just strapped onto. Oh yeah, no way. Space Cat says the Titanic is a really fitting conversation when the market is sitting. Yeah, no, yeah, that's right, mate. Yeah, you know what, Space Cat, you're right there. Didn't even think about that. Crypto Bro says I didn't want to do it, but the missus did, and I can't look like a chicken. I'd look like a chicken, but I'm not bothered. I won't do anything just to try and impress someone. No way. No way. I would happily say, you know what? If you want to do that, love, you go do it, and I'll stand here and I'll watch you. That's fine by me, but like hell, you're getting me up in one of them. No way. And I'd be perfectly fine with that. I'd be perfectly comfortable. Coin is... So what is... Coin must be... Yeah, so Coin is now kind of making its way towards, obviously, where it jolted up when it got listed on the S&P. So obviously, this move here from 207 up to 231 on that gap, that was when it got listed on the S&P, and it is now obviously approaching that region. On the other hand, MSTR doesn't really have much of a gap, to be honest. Then again, Bitcoin's not actually that down on the day, is it? But considering where it fell from, I thought MSTR may have gapped down a little bit more. Yeah, you can see the absorption on the S&P now. And obviously, yeah, into Bitcoin. Full retrace. There we go. But yeah, interesting stuff. One more litchi. But yeah, I mean, hope everyone's had a great week anyway. Hope you've all had a great week. Obviously, it is Friday, the last day of the week. Hope you've all had a great week. Hope you've all got something nice planned for over the weekend. I know some of you have, who've put in the chat. But yeah. Make sure you have liked, make sure you've subscribed. If you are watching on X as well, please do make sure you hop over to the YouTube channel to subscribe. We do go live every single day. It'd be great to welcome you. And of course, make sure you watch the videos as well. And for you people on YouTube, you're absolute legends for chilling with me, for discussing these great topics, you know, these interesting topics and whatever it is. I find it very enjoyable to just sit and watch the market with you people and just talk about whatever it is. It makes it a very enjoyable experience for me to have some of your time each day. And obviously, you guys bring the interaction in the chat and give me talking points and discussion. It is great. So yeah, big thank you to each and every one of you. Yeah, absolute legends. But yeah, make sure as well, like I said before, make sure you are trading on BLOFIN. The link is in the description. I'll put it in the chat once more again. Non-KYC and some great welcome bonuses too. And of course, like I mentioned before, you can get 20% off Stonksy on your first month. If you haven't joined us yet, make sure you do come and join us. And you get access to everything as well at a 20% discount for your first month. So take advantage of that. Bitcoin has retraced its US Open pump. And we are looking like, I mean, that is a bit of a, you can see just on the 5-minute chart, obviously we've got all this to potentially run here. And then obviously we're coming then maybe back into the lows. So definitely not a lot of strength in this bounce, I would say, so far. And maybe the risk is, yeah, to come back to the downside, which would make this a dead cat bounce. But we'll see. The stock market is obviously following the path back to the downside. So we'll see. It's going to be an interesting weekend, folks. And like I mentioned at the start of the stream, if you wasn't here, make sure if you're trading this weekend, you've got your stop losses in place. And obviously just be a bit wise and a bit responsible because, getting a bit of a jolt up there. Because obviously we could get any sort of news to drop over the weekend. I don't know what. And I don't know what obviously everyone expects. But, you know, we can get the market shift one way or another in the blink of an eye. So just be careful. Big up, mate. Yeah, mate. You too. Have a great night tonight as well. Have a drink for me. Have a drink for me, W Master. You deserve it. And RN says, can you maybe one day do a talk about off-ramping here in the UK? Yes. I'll tell you what, RN. We'll make that a discussion point on Tuesday because on Monday I'm off. So there won't be any stream on Monday. I will be doing my stream on Sunday night, like the weekly roundup. The little short one that we do on a Sunday. But Tuesday, when I'm back streaming, we'll do a full segment on off-ramping in the UK and obviously your options. So we can do that for sure. Yes. But yeah, have a great weekend. Have a great rest of your day, folks. And I'll see you on Sunday night for those of you that come and join our little weekly roundup. If not, I'll see you back at the usual time on Tuesday. Take care and peace out. Catch you soon.